Hi, I'm Cameron. I'm an adventurer, filmmaker and photographer, and welcome to Longyearbyen in Svalbard. I'm here at 78 degrees north, set to undertake a 7-day, 140-kilometre ski expedition crossing Svalbard from east to west. But before heading off on the expedition itself, I have a few days to do some exploring in this magical place in the most northernly populated part of the world. Just over my shoulder here you can see one of the iconic polar bear signs here in Longyearbyen, and effectively once you go beyond a sign you need to have a rifle with you or a guide with a rifle, because you are then entering prime polar bear territory. It's my 5th day here in Svalbard and I've enjoyed some brilliant days of adventuring so far. Getting out ski touring and taking a dip in the Arctic, doing some snowmobiling, and I've just been this morning in snowcat up onto the glacier to go check out an ice cave. And this afternoon I'll be heading into town for our debrief ahead of the crossing of Svalbard, which starts tomorrow on fjellski, to get a bit of the lowdown as to what's in store for us over the course of the next week, and get ready with packing our pulks so we can get off to a good start tomorrow.
To make this trip that you get to put your pole on the sea ice, so we have started from the coast and moving towards the other coast.
Be minus 15 during the night, but it's not a lot of wind and it might be a little bit of sun. So for at least the first few days it looks pretty good.
We will continue to Reindalspasset, and then we get into the longest valley on Spitsbergen. Yes, Reindal. And here we will ski probably for 3 days in this. I think it's so nice to slide through that valley. Considering how the snow has been, I think it's...
Good morning from Marianne's Polar Rig in Longyearbyen. It is day 1 of our crossing of Svalbard from east to west, and we are just at the container unit now, where we've packed up our pulks and are waiting for our ride to take us over in like a military articulated vehicle over towards the east coast. Here we are at the sea ice on the east coast and just planted the pole in the ice to mark the start of the trip. It's the end of our first day on the crossing of Svalbard, and we are at our first camp of the week, having made it over from Longyearbyen in a military articulated vehicle that drove us out here, and then we've set up our camp just behind me before we did a ski over to the sea ice, where we planted our pole in the sea ice to officially mark the fact that we've landed on the shore of the east coast. And we were on our skis for about 3 hours before coming back to the camp, where we've cozied into our tents and had some dinner, and then got together as a group to go through the polar bear watch scenario, so that we are well briefed, and we're taking it in turns each night to be able to stay up and keep our eyes peeled for the polar bears. So we practiced using a flare gun in case they get close. We can give a warning to everybody, and then we will be doing shifts for about an hour and 15 minutes every other night. So there'll be 3 or 4 times over the course of the next week where I'll be up and hopefully keeping everybody in the camp nice and safe. But right now it's coming up to about 11 o'clock, and as you can see, it's pretty light, and it's going to stay light all the way through the night. So if we do have any bear encounters, hopefully we should be able to very clearly see them. Good morning from the Arctic desert. It's our first morning and it's just gone 8 o'clock. Had a bit of an on-off night's sleep and got pretty cold at some points, and it was my first night using Arctic bedding, which is where you put your air mattress and sleeping bag into a bag so that you can just throw it into the tent, throw it on the pulk, and then throw it back into the tent later on the day without having to go through the process of blowing everything up and preparing it again. So a little bit of a learning curve was that I slept in the Arctic bedding, so that extra layer with my kind of body heat created a bit of a layer of condensation between the bedding and the sleeping bag, which I think was the cause of me getting cold. So I've just got my sleeping bag hanging up on my skis at the moment so that the water on it and the moisture freezes, and then I'll beat that off, frozen water with a brush, and then chuck my sleeping bag into the bedding. And tonight I will sleep with the bedding open so that I'm not shoved in there like a really tight sandwich, and that I'm just kind of in my sleeping bag on top of everything. So yeah, a little bit of a learning curve, and also so eager to get into bed last night I forgot to put in my sleeping bag liner, which would have provided that little extra layer of kind of insulation as well. So we learn as we go, and hopefully tonight will be a little bit more comfortable, though tonight I am on polar bear watch, so I'll see what time my shift is, but I'm likely to have a disrupted night of sleep anyway. Today we're going to head out for I think 3 50-minute walks before we get to lunch, and then I think something similar after that. We have like 10-minute breaks after we've done 50 minutes, and I think the start today is going to be quite a flat traverse, but we are aiming towards a glacier, So we've got some harnesses with us for the glacier aspects in case we need to get a little bit more technical. And it looks like it's another beautiful day. A little bit of cloud at the moment, but plenty of blue sky out there as well, and a lot of white. So here we are at Camp 2, and tonight we are staying on a glacier. So it's about 5 o'clock now, and as you can see, just getting set up for the evening, and tonight is my first night on polar bear watch. So I'm going to have my warm gear ready to put on for when I go out and patrol the area tonight. And otherwise, yeah, we'll just get everything set up. I'll get the kettle on the go, and we'll boil some water, ready to have some dinner and settle in for the evening and what's been a very lovely, sunny, beautiful day. And will be a very lovely, sunny, beautiful night as well. It's currently 5 AM on our third day, and it's my first turn doing the polar bear watch. So I'm standing in a little area where we've created a wall to protect ourselves from the wind. As you see, I'm wearing this rather fetching bright orange traffic cone style suit to keep warm and also stay very visible. Have my binoculars. To search the perimeter. I'll also do a walk around the camp so I can look at the various ridge lines and check all directions for any signs of a bear, and then maybe most importantly flare gun. So if we do see a bear, I pop a cartridge in the gun, load it up, fire it straight up in the air, and hopefully that will scare the bear away from us. But the first port of call will be to wake up the guides. So it's fun as if some certain ways, I think it's really a good idea if you don't. And my shift is an hour and a half, and I've got quite lucky, I think, because I've been able to sleep from about 9 o'clock last night all the way through until, well, about 4 a.m. and then I've been mentally just preparing myself to get up out my sleeping bag and back out into the Arctic cold. But actually it's quite cozy being in this thing, as ridiculous as it looks. Good morning from Camp 2, Day 3. Just getting ready for the day ahead and drying out my tent again. A little bit less condensation. I've just got it hanging up over the skis here. A little bit less condensation than there was the night before, so unzipping my Arctic bedding lower down I think really helped with that. And there's just all these little small adjustments that I kind of keep thinking about, keep making. Wearing different kinds of layers last night, and I wrapped up pretty warm because I knew I was going to have to get up at 5 a.m. to do the polar bear watch, which was very enjoyable. It was kind of almost like having a place to myself a little bit. Obviously everybody's just cozied up in their tents, but you're the only one out and you're just looking around at this incredible landscape and kind of hoping you don't see a bear, but also hoping that it'd be kind of cool if you did. But I think we're more and more inland we get, more and more west we get, the less likely it is that we would have any encounters, but you still just can't take any chances. So when I finished the polar bear watch, I just got the kettle on the go. We've had a few kettle issues. Our burner isn't burning as fast as what it seems some of the other guys are. So it takes a little while to get the water going in the morning, boil up our hot water for the day so we can make our meals as we go. And then, yeah, just managing all of the gear. A lot of adventure is just packing, unpacking, repacking your stuff constantly. So making sure everything's in the right place and figuring out a few different systems for the most efficient and effective way to pack and travel. Little tweaks as we go. But very much looking forward to another day here in Svalbard. And I think it's going to be a little bit like it has been. Nice clear skies, plenty of sunshine, and lots of snow.
So I think we'll have a round to say a little bit about how everyone has had it today, experienced today. I can start. For me, it has been a very nice day. I have to admit I was very happy when we were on top of the pass. I'm glad it wasn't 600 more meters of elevation up there. But otherwise it's been a very, very nice day. Very nice with the group. For us in the front, we had the impression that it was a very good mood in the group. A lot of people talking and yeah. And I think it was fun to ski downhill as well. I think the group did very well as well. And now I'm excited to come down from the glacier. I think it will be a bit more pleasant temperatures. Feels like it is already. So yeah, for me it's been a good day.
Then we will camp someplace between Martabred, most likely. And it's about 16-17 kilometers. Go there. Maybe a few more.
It's day 4 of our crossing, and last night we skied down Sotebreen, which was a glacier, and it was kind of fun skiing down without pulka. A bit challenging. The fjellskis that we're on have no heel piece so that you can lift when you walk, so it's a little bit counterintuitive as a downhill alpine skier. And my pulka is very heavy, so there's a few more considerations to bear in mind with that, but it was fun. And then we set up camp, another really beautiful spot, and we've been crossing now on today's leg for just over an hour. We go for 50 minutes, stop for 10, 50 minutes again, stop for 10, and that's kind of the routine. Have a little bit of a longer break at lunchtime, dig out a pit, all sit around together, hopefully facing the sunshine, and then same again after lunch until we get to our campsite. The 4 days so far have been going very quickly, and the weather really couldn't have been much better. It is blue skies, crisp clean air, and a little bit of wind in places, but not too much. So it's kind of perfect, really. A little bit too perfect. And as we're crossing from the east to the west, the landscapes are constantly changing. So now we're heading towards some mountains that have more kind of like jagged peaks, and it's supposed to be getting a little bit warmer because we're heading away from the coast, getting a bit more inland, and also heading out of the main polar bear territory. And we haven't seen any so far, but we have seen some reindeer, and we've seen some footprints for the Arctic fox, although I've not seen any Arctic foxes themselves, but may very well have seen us. got to leave these meals to cook for 8 minutes. And that's often the hardest bit. It's just the waiting. It's day 4 of the trip and we've enjoyed another fantastic day. We skied for about 18 kilometers before we got to our camp about 4:30. Tonight we've got a little bit of a bonus trip that we're going to try and do. Just up in the moraine behind me there is an ice cave. So we don't know if the entrance will be open, but we're going to go and see if we can find out. Currently walking through the moraine of the glacier, and there are spectacular ice formations all around us. It's a little bit technical on the fjellski because we haven't got the heel piece clipped in, and some technical aspects to kind of get through. A little bit of sidestepping and manoeuvring, but wow, this is a very special place to go and explore an ice cave. Here we are at the ice cave. It's a little bit too treacherous for us to go in there, but we can get a pretty good view and an idea of its size. And everywhere here is just so peaceful, quiet, spectacular. I feel very lucky to be here, to be able to see a place that not many people will when they come and visit Svalbard. Then tonight I'm on my second polar bear watch duties. So the last time I had a really good shift because it was the last one, so I just got up early. I have a feeling I'm going to have a bit of disrupted sleep tonight and probably get a shift in the early hours of the morning, so I'll have to go to bed, get up and go to bed again. It's our 4th night of winter camping, and so that means it is my 2nd night of polar bear watch, and I have the joy of having the 1:15 AM till 2:30 AM slot. So I didn't get to bed until 10 PM last night, and I didn't sleep a wink. So I'm hopeful a bit of extra fresh air doing the watch will mean that I'm able to get some shut-eye. I'm going to go back to bed at 2:30 and do the handover, because otherwise tomorrow is going to be a very long day.
I slept really well. Takes a while to fall asleep, but then I just listened to the symphony of the camp. It was nice. Then I woke up and I knew that I had a little blister. I thought I will have a look at that. And I had taped in advance, but right below the tape there was a huge blister. So Torjus has been putting foam on my foot. I was a bit into it, but it was good. So now I'm really excited to ski with this perfect foot I have here now. Yeah, and looking forward to the day and to slide into Reyndalen and seeing the coast coming closer.
Then we'll just follow down the Melkot River Most likely not into this shallow pass on the other side. We'll see a bit when we get there. And then we'll continue down and somewhere close to Svalbard we will camp. It's about 18-19 kilometers to get there.
Welcome to day 5 of the trip. A little bit of a tricky evening last night. Got back from our little adventure to the ice cave about 9 p.m. So even though we arrived at camp pretty early, that set things back a bit. And then I had to get all my gear and stuff ready for bedtime. So I wasn't in bed till 10. And then I didn't sleep a wink until my polar wear watch duties started at 1:15, and got a little bit of shut eye after that, after my like hour and 15-minute shift. So feeling pretty good this morning. It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day, and a little bit warmer than the other days. I'm feeling pretty strong at the minute, but I think I'll probably fatigue as the day goes on. But also, because I did polar bear watch last night, I don't have it tonight, so should get a nice decent rest. And the distance that we're doing today is about 18 kilometers again. So as we get further towards the west coast, the weather should be getting clearer and fairer, a bit warmer, although it's been pretty great all the way so far. It's a little bit cloudy last night and a little bit of fresh snow, but it wasn't a problem. So here we are, another day crossing Svalbard, and I am absolutely loving it. Good morning from a very snowy Svalbard. It's our 6th day and it is a very wintry start. Our tents are covered in snow or a little bit buried, and it looks like we're probably going to have a bit of a whiteout ahead of us today, which is I suppose kind of how it should be in winter. We've been very, very, very lucky with the blue skies each day so far, and let's just do a little walk around camp here. You'll be able to see kind of the tents, a bit more snow on the top. We've already been out this morning kind of brushing them, and yeah, I'm guessing these guys haven't been up yet. They've probably got more snow on than everybody else. And that's the morning, Elizabeth.
Morning.
How are you doing? How did you sleep last night?
Perfect.
Perfect. Oh, can't get better than that. You seen our friends here this morning come to wake us up? So we have a few reindeer just hanging out and having their breakfast over my shoulder here. Kind of going to do it naturally, I think.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
What a nice weather we woke up
Yes.
to.
Yeah.
Endelig.
It's, endelig. Finally, it's snowing. Yeah, as you can see, it's snowing, which means that it will probably be a little bit heavier to pull the pulka today, but the snow feels somewhat light, I hope. Today the plan is to ski a bit further in Reyndalen, and then eventually we will take off up to Semmeldalen. And the forecast now says that it's gonna snow for the first few legs, and then hopefully it will clear up around 12. And then it's gonna be a bit of wind. So we get something every time.
And what direction is the wind?
And northwest, which is the exact way we are going.
It is, alright.
So a little bit of work today. But it's only 2.5 days left now. Yeah.
Yes.
So we can take it.
Yeah.
And then when we come to camp, it's going to be quite nice weather, I think it says. Yes. I think we do a round, and then we can show on the map where we're going. So we're gonna ski down this valley here, go around here, and not go over here, because we did once and it sucked. So we're gonna go around here. And then we're gonna go up Semmeldalen. Semmel means Simle, which means female reindeer. So we're still in the reindeer terrain. We will go up this valley and hopefully pass this little cabin here and find a camp spot here in Passdalen. So then for the next day we will hopefully just ski downhill and into Grønfjorden.
Yeah.
That is the plan. Then we just have to see how it goes on the trip.
We are all packed up and ready to go for day 6. And it looks like we're not going to see much scenery today. It's the 6th day, and having woke up this morning to lots of fresh snow in the camp, that seems to be the theme of the day. So we're pretty much in whiteout conditions, and it's windy and the snow's making the pulks quite heavy, but it's not too cold. There's a bit of wind, but because there's also a bit of snow, it's actually kind of quite warm, easy to get very hot very quick. And we just had a great little pit stop there for a snack, surrounded by basically a field of reindeer. There was loads of them, and we've seen a few scattered about on this trip, but nowhere near as many as that in one singular place, so that was kind of cool. So we're 3 legs down this morning, 1 more leg until lunch, about 20 kilometers to cover today. The pace is that bit slower because of the conditions, but we're making good ground. We just stopped for lunch, and you can see the guys over my shoulder there just enjoying their meals, and we've got some friends that have joined us. So if I turn around over my other shoulder here, you might be able to see a small herd of reindeer, most of which are female, which we know because they've got their antlers on at this time of the year, and the males don't right now. And they kind of have been circling us, so they've followed us for the last little stretch that we did up to the lunch pit, and then they've came right up to where our pulks are, and then went round behind where we're all sitting and then popped round the other side. So that's kind of a really beautiful moment for us all to have. And we've been advised that it's actually quite rare to see the reindeers in herds together on Svalbard like this. So this group are a little bit smaller than some of the herds that we saw earlier on our crossing, but there's still quite a few of them here. Just curiously seeing what we're up to.
I think we should celebrate a little bit the work that we have done today. So we have brought skuffekake. Skuffekake. I don't know the English word.
Ja.
Ei skuffkake, Birger.
Ja, nå, det hørtes deilig ut.
Yeah, so the guys have been a bit busy today, baking,
Ja, så godt.
as you can see.
So yeah, it was nice with a bit of challenge, and I think we've had such smooth days, so we needed maybe one of these days. And also I think it's really nice to feel that even though it's heavy, we are able to push through it and move forward and get to where we want to get. So we're lucky to have strong bodies that carry us all the way with our focus, I think.
It's the end of day 6 of the crossing, and as you can see, I'm all cozied up in our tent. It's just gone 8:20 p.m. and I have another polar bear watch tonight, and thankfully I've landed with another really sweet shift of the 5 a.m. slot, so I can get a full night to sleep and just get up early, and I'm very, very happy about that. We did about 18 kilometres today, which was a couple of kilometres shy of the target distance, but with the wind and the snow and the whiteout conditions and a lot of breaking trail, we have called it a little bit shy and set up in a really beautiful spot, but I think it's going to be an extremely cold night by comparison to some of the others. So wrapping up warm, and got a nice hot water bottle in my sleeping bag to keep me all toasty, and I will be up again in the small hours of the morning. It's 5 a.m. and I am back on polar bear watch. This is the last shift of the evening, and I'll be on watch for the next 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's been a bit of a tricky night of sleep. The watch kind of gives you a little bit of anxiety to make sure that you're getting up on time, and even though 5 a.m. is a really good spot because you get up early, my tent buddy had the first slot, so I couldn't quite get to sleep until he came back, and then I just had a bit of a sleepless night, so it could be a long day today. As you can see, the camp is here behind me. There's a bit of an orchestra. You can hear the snorers quite loudly at times, which also doesn't help when you can't get off to sleep. And even though right now it is the end of April and it's 24 hours daylight, I still get to see at this time of the morning a bit of a sunrise, which is pretty special. our 7th and final full day, and we are almost at the west coast. We have done 22.5 kilometers today. A little bit of a steep ascent in the morning and then a really nice descent into a valley, and we could see the sea as we descended down, and it opened up, and we've had quite a long stretch to get to our campsite. And we are 3 kilometers inland from the shoreline itself, just for safety, so that we're not in prime polar bear hunting territory. And tomorrow we'll set off at 9 o'clock and we'll do the final little stretch.
It's so special to feel that everything is moving a bit slowly and that we're just in our bubble, because it's so many things happen in our day-to-day life, and a week doesn't matter, and then this week matters so much. And just like Torjus and Ingjerd says, in the beginning when we were at the east coast, we don't know you, we are a bit worried and trying to teach you a few things, and then now everything is just smooth and we could just continue, and it's amazing to see. And like I've said before, this place is very special to me, and it means a lot when I see that it becomes special to other people too. So thank you for joining.
We've arrived just outside of Barentsburg, and 2 of the guides have gone ahead to have a little look at some of the little houses down here by the shoreline, just to make sure that there aren't any unexpected guests waiting in there. So we're hanging out up on the edge of the shoreline, just waiting for the all clear before hopefully we can ski down. We successfully made it to the west coast this morning, and most of the group went on a boat back to Longyearbyen. There was supposed to be 2 boats, but there was only 1 that came, so several of us have stayed behind. And rather than freeze on the shore, we've headed into Barentsburg, which is a Russian town. And coming through here, it's very much like a ghost town. There's hardly anybody here. It's very eerie and very, very quiet. We've just sat down on the steps and looked out onto the ocean and enjoyed our lunch there. And now we're going to pass back through and head back down to the shoreline. And hopefully the boat will be there to pick us up by the time we return. Sadly, it is my last day here in Svalbard and I am about to jump on a plane. This place will be sad to leave because of the memories that have been made, the people I've met, and just everything that's been accomplished over the past couple of weeks. It's been really, truly incredible and might take a little bit of time to process. I wonder if it might hit home a little bit when I'm on the plane, looking out the window, down at some of the ground that we've covered, crossing Svalbard from east to west, just what it is that we've really accomplished.
I think Svalbard is the love of my life. I love this place so much.